Stereotype threat, as defined by Heim, is the fear that one might act in a way that will inadvertently confirm a negative stereotype about one's group. This fear tends to lead to poorer performance on the task at hand, therefore fulfilling the feared stereotype. In stereotype threat studies, the researchers present a well-known stereotype in some way before the participants take an exam or task of some sort. This often leads to different performance than those from the condition without the stereotype threat.
A common stereotype regarding women is that they have poorer math skills compared to men, which is thought to create lower scores in math tests for women. Research shows that when women are primed with a reminder of their gender before taking a math test, they perform worse than they would have without any prime. The types of characteristics which tend to fall victim to stereotypes include, but are not limited to, ethnicity, gender, age, and social identity. In some cases, the effects of stereotype threat can have dramatic results on performance. For example, Steele and Aronson gave African American and European American students a test of verbal items from the GRE and made one condition a control, while in the other, the participants' races were made salient prior to the test.
The only score differences between the two groups was that African Americans scored significantly worse in the threat condition. The research shows that the stereotype against African Americans' performance on intellectual tasks is significant and powerful. Interestingly, stereotype threat increases performance for individuals of the non-stereotype group, or when the stereotype is a positive one.
For example, males traditionally score higher on math tests when reminded of their gender due to the positive stereotype about their performance in math. Similarly, Claude Steele framed a golfing task in two different ways in one of his studies, inducing varying results from his black and white male participants. True to the stereotypes about each group, black participants performed better when the task was framed as diagnostic of natural athletic ability, while white participants performed better when it was framed as being diagnostic of sports intelligence.
Stereotype threats also expand beyond race and gender. Researchers found that elderly people, for example, performed significantly worse than younger people on memory tasks when reminded of the stereotype regarding their forgetfulness. The effects of stereotype threat are significant and extend beyond test scores. Even if individuals believe they are competent, stereotype threat can reduce working memory capacity because individuals are trying to suppress the negative stereotypes. Standardized test scores of individuals from stereotype groups may significantly underestimate their actual competence in low-stakes testing situations. Finally, stereotype threat seems particularly strong for those individuals who desire to perform well.
Decreased performance, internal attributions for failure, self-handicapping, disengagement, disidentification, and altered professional identities are all consequences of stereotype threat in real life. Recent research has shown that the professional paths chosen by students may be inadvertently affected by stereotypes held against them.
Good, Ratton, and Dweck found that stereotypes can even affect career choices very early on in schooling, as stereotype threats have been shown to undermine the sense of belonging for certain individuals.
Despite the powerful negative effects of stereotype threat, there are steps that can be taken to reduce those effects. For example, reframing a task to assure the participants that the task is a fair test can all but eliminate the threat. Also, de-emphasizing threatened social identities by encouraging individuals to think of themselves as non-stereotyped ways helps reduce stereotype threats' effects.
Encouraging self-affirmation, emphasizing high standards with assurances about attaining success, providing positive role models, offering external attributions for the difficulty of the test, and encouraging an incremental view of intelligence have all been shown to eliminate these negative effects.